Perfect.
Ah, it's Father's Day, the time when dads everywhere are celebrated and honored the most. Children shower dad with displays of love, gifts, and affection, while Father Dear gets to bask in the love and appreciation of his family. But wait, no, this is not that Father's Day tale or memory. This is a Lit Lane True Crime Original, the story of the Father's Day murders. It was after the devastation of Hurricane Katrina of 2005 that Randy Sylvester Sr. and his high school sweetheart, Geraldine St. Cyr, makes the decision to relocate their young family to the small superior town of Pasadena, Texas, near Houston. It was here that Geraldine would have to experience a mother's nightmare, one that would forever change the meaning of Father's Day. Summer 2008, Father's Day weekend. A typical Texas sunny day on Sunday, June 15, 2008, Geraldine St. Cyr spent the day as usual, while her son Randy Jr., age 7, and her baby girl Denham, age 3, happily played both in and outside the apartment that day. Nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary, not even when she lost sight of them, because the kids was known to play around the neighborhood. And also, at their father's house, Randy Sylvester Sr. Even though a close family unit, he kept his own apartment in the same complex. And after all, it was Father's Day, of course. The kids would want to spend time with their daddy. But as the evening approaches, Geraldine starts to grow worried. She's certain that the last time she saw her kids was around 3 p.m. that day. They had been playing around the tennis courts. Geraldine searches outside for her kids, knocks at some of the neighbors' doors, and tries to contact their father, Randy Sr. All with no success and not a sign of Randy Jr. or Denham. As the feeling of dread and worry begins to overwhelm her, all Geraldine can think of is the stories of kidnapping missing kids. She knows it's time to take action. At approximately 9:15 p.m., Father's Day, Saturday, June 15, 2008, Mother Geraldine St. Cyr made the terrifying call to 911 to report both kids missing. Once that 911 call was placed, the Pasadena Police Department quickly swings into action. Though family and some of the community voiced complaints that no Amber Alert had been issued, there was widespread media coverage, and quickly tips began to pour in. Almost immediately to both the police and to Geraldine herself, a cast of doubt and suspicion fell around the children's father, Randy Sylvester Sr. He had been arrested on Monday night, June 16th, less than 24 hours of the kids going missing. He was picked up on outstanding traffic warrants and was also facing domestic violence charges. due to an attack made on Geraldine that same night the 911 call was made. Early on, the search and rescue was quickly becoming more of a search and recovery mission. Just as quickly as information came in, the police responded. Whereas Geraldine recounted having last saw her children sometime around 3 p.m. on Father's Day, neighbors reported having seen both children along with Randy Sr. at approximately 1:30 that afternoon near the tennis courts. Search dogs were brought in immediately, and they picked up on the scent of both siblings that led them from the tennis courts to Randy Sr.'s apartment and from there to Randy's car. With the tips, the search, the speculation, and fear amping up, more pleas for information went out to the community, as well as to additional outside agencies to join in on the search effort. Having been arrested and detained since the start of this investigation on unrelated charges, Randy Sylvester Sr. has become the sole suspect in what is now being considered potential murders. Further in this grisly assumption is reports of both a wooden trunk and suitcase having mysteriously become missing from Randy Sr.'s apartment. At this point, Randy's mom, Alonda Sylvester, makes an impassioned request that the renowned Texas Equisearch Party joins the search attempts. Texas Equisearch was established in 2000. Its founder, Tim Miller, having experienced the pain of having his own daughter abducted and murdered in 1984, joins the search alongside the Pasadena Police Department, bringing with him years of experience, invaluable resources, and more than 500 search volunteers. While grandmother Alonda Sylvester enlists the help of Texas Equisearch, Geraldine St. Cyr reaches out for the help of Quanell X. Formidable to say the least, Quanell X is a well-known community activist, leader of the Houston New Black Panther Nation, and former spokesman for the Houston area Nation of Islam. By now, the summer of 2008, Quanell X was well known and respected for his ability to step in, garner trust, and have suspects surrender to law enforcement. And that's exactly what he entered into the investigation on June 17, 2008 to do. While he initially approached the situation in Randy Sr. with no judgment and giving Randy Sr. the benefit of the doubt, that benefit of the doubt vanished rather quickly once he entered the suspect's apartment, the doghouse. As stated earlier, while Geraldine, Randy Jr., and Denham lived in one unit, Randy Sr. also kept his own apartment in the same complex, one that he called himself the doghouse. The doghouse was filthy, pornography was strewn openly around, and it was obvious that Randy used drugs there. Despite his feeling of disgust and shock, Quanell X would push forward in his efforts to continue to talk to Sylvester to get him to do the right thing. His help would prove to be vital in just a matter of days. Previously, Randy Sylvester Sr. made many attempts to stall the investigation efforts of his own two children. First, by making claims that they were kidnapped due to money he owed. Then he misled the efforts at recovery when he indicated the children may be in the retention ponds nearby. These claims were immediately followed by intensive searches, including complete draining of the ponds. Finally, after continuous urging and counsel of Quanell X for 2 days, and nearly a week after the children were initially reported missing, their father led Quanell X and teams of searchers to his children's location. Early morning, June 20th, 2008, in a secluded wooded area, 7-year-old Randy Sylvester Jr. was found stuffed into a wooden trunk. His little 3-year-old sister Denham was stuffed the same way into a suitcase. Both bodies were found burnt, and horrifically, both was disgustingly tossed over a railroad overpass. After undergoing mental competency hearings, Randy Sylvester Sr. stood trial for capital murder in 2010. He avoided Texas death penalty by pleading guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without the chance for parole. He died in prison a few years later in 2014 for reasons undisclosed. Thank you for joining me and tuning in to Lit Lane True Crime Original, Father's Day Murder. How did a mother lose two children in such a despicable manner? How did Father's Day weekend for one man become the time for an unthinkable crime? Once a family treasured holiday for one family is now an anniversary of a nightmare.